like? We'll start off with this. We have equal lows, and we do not have equal lows here at all. Like this is like kingdom come. Okay, I don't know what is going on with the shit coins this week. Like I don't know where this alt season calls are coming from. But this looks absolutely cooked because if this breaks down, and it will break down, I think, I don't really see how this is going to hold, right? We didn't hold this old range. We went back inside of it. So assuming that we reject off this and then bleed out, which we probably will, at least that's my outlook. I really do think we're going to end up doing something like this week, guys. Um, just a really a bleed, run this low, and then I don't really know what happens after that. But I would honestly guess that we just keep going lower. But wait for the reaction around that X mark there. And the reason is just because I want to see what happens when we sweep this and kind of all this stuff over here. 1035 might give a good bounce. This might give a good bounce. At the end of the day, like we had a pretty clean range, and now we just don't, right? Clearly stuck in whatever the fuck this is. This really isn't a big significant level either. Like this is what people want is a close above these old highs here. And while you are doing that, there's just no strength. Like this is just really, really weak. So I'd rather be wrong and see this keep going. But the big warning for me is just how crappy these all look, right? Because yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin gets the bounce now, this probably comes back to here, comes back to here, whatever. But if it doesn't, right, this is just going to rug. And I think for most people here, it's pretty apparent why I do think it's going to rug. And this is the exact same thing, right? I mean, this looks worse objectively, and of course, um, this is one of the trades that's been copy trade, so that would make sense why it looks like it went straight down off my entry because it did, because it absolutely did. Um, oh, I gotta leave the YouTube activity. Whoops. But okay, yeah. So when I look at this, it's just equal lows, right? Equal lows, pretty weak bounce as well. Again, like this is not a strong reaction from support. And again, you're hitting this level at 108, right? And last time we were here, we were at 105. So again, this is just bleeding out value. There really isn't another way to look at this, at least that I can figure out. This to me just looks like we are going to run this low, right? And if we want to look at it from an even simpler perspective, you have a trend line, a pretty clean trend line. That, of course, I chose to ignore. And there you have a lower high, right? Because up until this point, right, lower high or higher low, higher low, higher low, right? You can just circle all this as a higher high, right? And even if you don't count this, this is all a higher high too. The problem comes here, right? Right when you make this kind of structure here. And now what you are basically waiting to do is to confirm a lower low down here, right? Right around this area, and then eventually do something like that, right? And I think for a lot of you guys, this is pretty clear, like how I came up with this idea. Um, But again, I really do think the medium term outlook of this looks bad. It does. Because what the two scenarios that I really see that are likely is okay, this chart by itself doesn't look nearly as crappy as the other ones, right? This obviously looks better than this. I don't know to tell you guys why. So what I would say is it's very possible that we manage to flip this to support and this grinds up to 130, 120, let's say. I wouldn't really worry about that on purpose. We grind up, we go like 120, 130. If we do this, guys, that would make sense because then what this would look like is some variation of this. So we chop around, we survive, we make another high, right? And then we just die again. And this is the really concerning part is that that would be another lower high up here. And again, this 180 mark is really, really significant. So we talked about that for a while, like a really long time, 180. And the reason was because of all these kind of equal lows, sorry, all these kind of equal highs just sitting at around 180, right? So we had kind of all of this, right? 180, 180, 180. These are all equal highs, equal lows. These eventually got run, right around there, and we couldn't get a strong close above. So to me, this is a really, really significant level on Sol. This 180 mark. Don't fade it. It's really important. And honestly, I should have shorted when we didn't get this acceptance. But now it really feels like best case scenario is we get this little gap up, right? And to get this gap, I feel like you literally need, I genuinely believe, like 10 to 20% on Bitcoin. And if this does happen, guys, I will be offloading some of my spot because I don't think that would look good for the market if we see this at like 180, 200, and this is at 120 again, because I think this will rug just as fast. So for me, again, the two main scenarios is either we kind of get that little spike, but equally likely, guys, is that we get something like this. And this would be a very decent region to bid, at least in my opinion. This could hold again. Pretty decent daily level, right? We can kind of zoom this out a little bit more. If I wanted to be patient, right, this is kind of where I'd look to bid, is back inside this low. If I wanted to get really, really greedy, I'd probably go for like the midpoint of that low, somewhere around there. And I can take this on copy potentially, could potentially not, but I mean, if I take it on copy, it probably won't win, so I might pass on doing that. But yeah, I mean, overall, guys, I don't think this is a very good looking chart. You just don't want to see this kind of sell off against the broader market. And again, keep in mind, this is all during, a really, really nice run for legacy stocks too. Uh, one sec. Okay. What other coins should we check out, by the way, guys? Do you guys want to see if ETH, um, Sweet syrup? What is syrup? I've been hearing this coin a lot. Okay, we'll look at those coins in a second. Just gonna post this little Blowfin campaign that we just got from um, the guys over at Blowfin. They were nice enough to send me this. So just gonna paste that in here for you guys. I'm gonna probably have to dox myself. Fuck, don't really want to do that because I'm recording it for the live stream. But we're gonna look at INJ. We'll look at Sui. We'll look at Syrup. Honestly, very good choices. I think Sui and Syrup are probably the more interesting ones of those two. INJ just looks so cooked. Um, it really does, and I wish I knew why. Do, 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 do. All right, I have forwarded the promo into the chat, so you guys should be able to see it now. And I will also forward this to Squirrel Trades and just let them know that we are running this. Um, there we go. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I don't know the naming. Okay, the naming one kind of threw me off too. The naming kind of got me as well, Mika. But okay, let's go look at Syrup and IMJ. I'll probably just crop that part out of the video of me talking for an hour. Okay, Syrup. This is actually not. This is good. This one looks pretty decent. I do like this actually. Higher lows. I mean, it's not amazing, right? Because you are stuck underneath this range over here. We can draw this out a little bit better. So right? This, not great. I would want to see this back above there. But I kind of see what it's bouncing off of, just kind of this whole little support over here. I do like the fact that you're still having a better structure than like soul, right? You've got higher lows. What you need to see though is this kind of has to hold, and you really want to see something like that. Because I don't really want to see this low get ran, because then we'd have lower high, right? It'd be kind of the same confirmation structure where again, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. But if we fuck this and then make a lower low, well, probably pretty cooked. So at that point, I would probably be avoiding it if we do get a move like that. But if we do keep just chopping around in between this, definitely looks completely fine. If we want to go look at I and J, um, this looks pretty bad. It's kind of like Soul, but a little bit better, right? Where again, you this is a tough start. Um, Put yourself on do not disturb. Right, right, right. I've tried this before though, it doesn't fucking work. I am on do not disturb. I'm just gonna turn off my notifications, I guess. All right, let's see if that works. Oh, that's what you mean. I see. Well, I think I just disabled my notifications altogether, so that should work too. Um, which is fine because I don't need to hear the pings anyways. I'm here 24/7. But yeah, I mean, this again just looks like a bit like a slow bleed. There's just no reaction, right? Like there's literally just no reaction. What like this is like a 5 quarter cent bounce. Um, that does not inspire me with much confidence, right? Same idea as this. This bounce is genuinely sad. Yeah, maybe it kind of rallies and holds this level for a bit, but it's hard to believe that this is going to be some sort of higher time frame low, right? I mean, this just looks really, really bad. And again, you're back to this little origin of the move. I understand why there's support at this region. I'm sure the rest of you guys do too, right? All of this, all of this. But I just don't really see it holding. But hey, at least it's better than I and J a little bit. I don't understand what fucking bananas they're talking about. That might just be the dumbest, the absolute dumbest fucking name they could have come up with. But whatever. They're good, so we'll give it to them. Yeah, it's gonna get changed. It's gonna get changed. It's just like read the dates on it. That's just not active yet. But we're gonna it's gonna start tomorrow, guys. Um, so yeah, that one will start tomorrow, and yeah, from there we will be good to basically cook. Hopefully we can get a nice little bit of trading volume this week. Again, don't force it if it's not there. We don't want to just, send people to oblivion. But yeah, I mean, that Nelly guy is fucking balling though. Jesus Christ. Like 500x leverage every 5 minutes. Um, Absolutely crazy. Let's see what else we got. Oh, sweet. I thought about sweet. That was a good one. I mentioned that. It looks the same as Soul, right? I guess. Oh, you know what? No, no. You know what? Good find. Mika, this is a good one because I like this one better. You've got a significantly better structure. It's not amazing, right? But this is clearly higher lows, right? And again, a bit messier, but this is a relatively bullish structure. I would go and say this is incredible, um, but this is actually what I want to see. The only thing you need is this acceptance, right? Once you get back inside of this little block, I would long the crap out of it. Because if you get inside these previous lows, I would imagine this runs to the range highs. So if I want to plan a trade on this, and I think I actually might, is what I would look for is some sort of run of this box where we can kind of mark out like this, we can mark out the range high with this over here, right? Or maybe, around there, you can put it there. Doesn't really matter. And then if we do get that reclaim inside the box, I would want to treat this as a deviation, right? And then have, okay, we reaccept inside the range low, we run back to the range high. And we've taken that kind of setup a lot, and they do work pretty well. So if we do actually get that kind of move and that sort of reclaim, yeah, 100%. I would look for longs on this, like 25 or so percent of it there. And take a quick look at ETH. ETH is all an interesting point. This kind of looks like Sweet, if I'm being honest. Very much the same chart. But this one is sort of back inside the range, so it's a bit more unclear. That's what kind of makes this a bit difficult, is like this by itself doesn't look that bad, right? Assuming that we hold. But if we do end up just running this over, and again, I would be surprised if this is the low that saves us. It'll look good, right? If we are back above here and we're inside of these lows, that would look fine. Um, I just don't love the way this kind of move developed, where we had a big gap, filled the whole gap, and then just nuked right back through it. It doesn't really feel like we've just been, you know, really making a ton of significant progress here. And again, the only real positive thing I can say is that it does, I guess, not below here, right? Like this sucked worse, right? I'm sure you guys remember this lovely drop. We survived that on my first copy trade when I got murked on that one too. But end of the day, this is just kind of stuck in a rage. The market has been really terrible the last couple months because when we first started trading, guys, we were all in this big range up here. This is actually pretty significantly easier to trade as compared to something like this. This is just a straight up barcode. This is really tough. And I've been trading for like a long time at this point, so definitely around here at least, and probably here as well. Um, yeah, like this stuff just hurts. It really does hurt. When I see this kind of shit, I just makes me a bit worried because I don't really love the fact that we're down here when BTC's at all-time highs. That's just the reality of it. Same kind of argument as Sol. And you can say the market's diluted, there are more coins, ETH has less of a purpose, whatever. I don't think it really fundamentally changes that just looking at this picture on face value does not look that good. Oh, interesting. So Blofin has made a new feature where you use Bitcoin as collateral for futures trades. So you could build a bot that sells in and out of Bitcoin. That's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna look at some strategies we could do for that. That's actually really interesting. So basically, you could build a BTC denominated trading bot. Um, really cool concept. I guess what you'd want to do, right, is look for shorts, and this is just me guessing, obviously. I guess you would look for shorts and then sell back to BTC, right? Like that's kind of the way this works, I'm assuming. And you just kind of keep the upward exposure from Bitcoin and the market's good. We could look at something like this. I might try that. It could be a fun little market idea. Um, I'm game. And let's see if this is rugging yet. Okay, yeah. So again, this low, not gonna hold. Just just not gonna happen, guys. Write it off. Zero. Zero, zero, zero. Not gonna happen. Coins I still like. I've been shilling this guy since the day I was born, basically. Um, look, you have to put this stuff in context, obviously, right? Think about how valuable of an asset this actually is. When we go to this, I want to write out the prices here, right? These are the prices the first time around, right? And this asset, if you guys recall, is an index comprised of BTC, Sol, and ETH, right? So it's just an equal, not equal, but it's a different split of all those different assets to make up this one coin. We're pretty much back at the same price. I mean, not exactly, obviously, right? We still got like 10% or so. But keep in mind, 110K, sure, but 2400, and that's a massive difference in the other two assets, right? And we're pretty much back at the same price that we started at. To me, this is really bullish. And even when ETH was at 2100, right? This was all the way down here, and Sol was at 120. So yes, this is heavily weighted towards Bitcoin, but also keep in mind that the way this works is they're constantly buying new coins, with the profits of the pools and the fees and so on. So the amount of coins they were able to buy was able to offset the loss of these significantly. When you combine that with kind of the interest and the lending and all that stuff, this to me is still a really good safe option for long term. So that's just something to keep in mind. I really do think it's a good coin. I haven't shilled it as much recently, just because there's not too much of a point. But I do like it. I do. Um, I still don't mind Whiff. I'm still a believer. But this chart by itself does not look that great. If we do end up going back below 80 cents or so, I would say this looks pretty cooked. Um, but again, this is a bit messy. This is kind of the big level we have to watch, is just all of this little support region over here. Because if we do reclaim this, right, I really do want to see a big run. So because of that, I will keep holding with. Okay, guys. Any coins you guys want me to check out? I guess I can't see chat notifications, so I have to scroll back and check. But what else can we look at today? By the way, I know you guys don't celebrate the holiday, but do take some time off and try to have a good time. Um, if you're playing the recorded version, I hope you do enjoy your 4th of July. This looks bad also, right? Again, kind of stuck at the lows, can't get back inside the range, right? Which is just all of this up here. Um, right, this looks bad. Just, you gotta say it like it is. You'd want that to be inside of this, and we just can't even touch it. So, when I look at this, not great. Really, really not great. Um, but again, this just seems to be a trend across all of these coins, right? It doesn't really seem to matter where I look. These all kind of look the same. I guess, again, this is better than Sol because they're not equal lows, but they're really not that much better. And we already have this kind of equal high shift on the market structure, which again just doesn't look very good. Um, yeah, like it's tough to justify this because at the end of the day, like there really are few charts that are looking actually bullish right now. And again, this is another really decent example looking at XRP over here. Because again, you've got higher highs, sorry, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, but now you've broken structure with this lower high, right? And you do have a higher low, but the question is, are we going to do this or are we going to slowly break down and then run something like this, right? And we already have a slight little break of structure over here. It doesn't look great to me. I would imagine that that one also goes lower as well, if I really had to guess. Sorry guys, 1 second. Oh, Mika, hope you had a good time, bro. Apologies. You can check my love Pepe. Oh, absolutely. I like Pepe sometimes. Yay, barcode. Awesome. Okay, so again, what do we have here? Higher lows, and this. I'm not even gonna call these highs. They're just crappy. This is just crappy. Crappy coin. What I want to see though is above here, right? This is a very clear level. Previous support, previous resistance. You are chopping in between. What you need is to get above this line, stay above this line, and then you can actually think about a move up higher. From a spot perspective, TSQ, I still hold this. I still hold this in Pepe. These are worth it to me, these large cap memes, because they just have so much upside. Because when they get forgotten about, they just kind of run, right? So when you forget about Pepe, it'll probably do well, right? Like remember Whiff went to 0, everyone was like, oh, it's over, right? Well, that did a 5x, right? This is one of the best calls I actually had in this Discord, was just to buy this when it was cheap. And I will do it again. I will 100% do it again. Do it with Pepe, do it with Whiff. Probably do it with Popcat eventually when this thing gets forgotten about too. Still not cheap enough yet. But again, these things back in the day, you have to understand, guys, were so expensive. Eventually, right, they get forgotten about and they do crazy moves, right? 400%, 500%. You just can't be too early. So be patient with it. You know, you can honestly DCA into stuff like this on spot. It definitely makes sense. Yeah, DCA it. I wouldn't worry about it. What I think would be nice actually for this guy is it's still not cheap enough though. I would not be surprised if we do eventually touch this, and then I will buy the crap out of it. Like that's kind of like the really, really, really simple version. Is if we do ever touch this low, I will literally buy the crap out of it. No worries. Have a good time, Prune. Thanks for coming out, bro. I appreciate it. 4th of July, no pressure. But no, this one looks decent. I don't hate this one at all. I like Pengu also. I was looking at Pengu. Um, this looks better, significantly better. It's just running up vertically. Um, this is much better chart. I actually do think this will probably keep going. Just looking at the structure of this, think about how little this is actually selling off with the rest of the market, right? This looks much better. Will this actually pump from here? I don't know. I don't really plan on buying it, but if I do want to buy, I'd probably buy there. You could look at, you could look at honestly anywhere, and you'd probably be okay for a spot play. It sucks. I was looking to buy this thing for a while, and then I just kind of forgot about it. And now I'm a bit late. But this is probably a nice spot. I would look there if it comes back. My entry on arrow spot. Oh, that's a great entry. You're fine. I would just keep adding as it gets cheaper. Um, all right. I'm gonna stop the recording here just because I don't really need, I imagine, to keep recording from here. Um, but I did want to get some YouTube content out, so definitely excited to finally put some public content on YouTube. I was thinking a lot about it, guys, and honestly, like the reality is like copy trading is obviously not the reason that we don't have a ton of growth. Like doesn't help of course. But end of the day, like it's just marketing and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna look into some ads, you know, I don't know, TikTok, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. See what I can kind of think of to power some growth and some outreach and stuff. Because and again, I mean this in the least shitty way possible. There are so many other servers that literally liquidate people on the weekly, and they just lose people. Then new people come and they take their place, and nobody remembers that it happened at all. I've seen that kind of cycle like again and again. You know, so if they can get away with that, you know, me running one copy trade and it not going the best, is probably not the real reason that we're struggling with the growth. So yeah, I wouldn't really put too much stock into that. I'm gonna try to be a chill squirrel this week and be less less angry and frustrated at the market. But you know, it's hard. It definitely is hard. I always do my best to try to make this stuff go as well as I can. But end of the day, I don't control the market. And obviously, people are going to be upset if they lose money. That's just kind of the way that stuff goes. Which you know, I can't control. Um, so gotta put it behind us. You know, work on what I can on the copy trade, see what I can do to hopefully recover the accounts. But beating myself up about it every day is probably not the answer to to keep moving forward. At least from what I've seen. Um, Look, that's just part of the game. End of the day, can't control the market, so gotta at least respect that and respect myself because I tried my best. Thank you, TSQ. It's just tough. Like I feel bad. Obviously, I don't want to sit in the Discord and like rant every day and like complain. That's not the goal. But you know, it's frustrating because obviously I want everything to work out for you guys. So like again, I don't really lose anything if the copy trade loses money. It's not really my money. But emotionally, I feel quite bad. So hopefully we stop losing money. Pengu looks really good, I do have to say. I'd like the Pengu one. I don't know, what else do you guys want to see? I know there's only a couple of you guys in here. Super Dude, and Rave Monkey, Joe Trum, TSQ. Any coins you guys want to check out? Mm, can also just chat a bit. Not really a ton going on. Any exchange suggestions you guys can definitely, send my way. I've been a bit behind on the dev work stuff. 100% honest, just because of the fact I've been quite busy. They all do kind of look the same. ME. Oh, let's check it out. ME 725. Oh, one sec. Sorry, I'm gonna go put the video into uploading on YouTube, so that way when this finishes, it'll be there. Um, will it actually work? Different question, but we're gonna hope it does. And then we'll look at Magic Eden quickly. I haven't made a YouTube video that we've made public. I want to say in like a year, genuinely. Oh my fucking god, guys! I didn't record the sound. I hate this. I hate this so much. I did it again. I did it. I did the exact same thing again I did last time when I recorded the fucking Central Exchange video. I didn't record the sound. You have got to be kidding me. Wow, that's so annoying. All right, well, I'm gonna make sure that it always records my sound going forward, I guess. And then I'm going to, I guess, just delete my recording because it's literally useless. That's so that's it's really it's so frustrating. It's like a 45, it's like a 27-minute recording, and it would have been so good to post, and we just can't. Um, I did say it was going to zero. I've not looked at the chart yet, but I'm gonna assume that it finally went to zero. Um, sorry from. Yeah, I mean, bro, like it's awful, but like it's exactly what we expected. Like it really is. I sold 100. Yeah, this thing's fucked. It's just fucked. We'll go back to Magic Eden. I am so mad I didn't record it. That is so annoying, guys. Really wanted to get some fresh content on the Discord or on the YouTube, but I just didn't save it. I might shoot a video after this, honestly, and just record myself talking, just so I can have something to put up. Talk about market structure a little bit and kind of market outlook again, but to myself. That'll be really fun. But honestly, I think it's worth it because look, YouTube's a good way to grow at the end of the day. Our YouTube is not huge by any stretch, um, but it's not small either. I mean, that's not true. It is small. We've got 200 subscribers, guys. That's sick. Um, that's super awesome. Really appreciate that. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna go make some YouTube content down the line, probably by today, end of the day. Sadly, I can't take the day off. I've got to work on a bunch of mostly BS dev work, but I do have to finish it or I'm screwed. So I will do that. Um, but this looks great. Sorry, not great. This looks crap. So, I don't know where I got that from. Yeah, no, like not a very nice chart. Like there's really not much you can say. This is literally just sold off since it was born. Like they've literally just been selling it off since the day it came out. Honestly, I'm not a big believer in Magic in like OpenSea/Magic Eden, just because I don't love NFTs all that much, which is ironic. But I would not. I think if you get a pump, the problem is like on a chart perspective, it'd be very hard to figure out where it goes. because it'd be kind of a scam. But I'd look for a pump maybe above there, like above this high, maybe. This just looks bad. Like honestly, it just looks pretty bad. So I'm sorry to burst your bubble, Rave Monkey. There's just not a lot of positivity that you can say out of this thing. The only real good thing I guess you could say is you do have bullish structure, kind of. Right? This I can say. Higher low, higher low, higher low, right? So now you just need to see this actually go higher. So hopefully that can give you a bit of optimism on that. Fair enough. Anything is positive for a free airdrop. I can't really argue with that. I did claim the drift airdrop yesterday, by the way, guys. I don't know how many people actually did that, but it wasn't great. It was like a couple, like $100 or something, for all the capital that I put to lend, which is not incredible, but not terrible either. So I can't complain. Money is money. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, this market does not look amazing. We're just kind of stuck. I'm not saying this breaks down today, but I'd be surprised if this holds. It could, right? Like question mark, but I don't know. I don't like it. Yeah, could do the Pepe. Could do the Pepe. You never know. Yeah, yeah. Like the Camino one was really bad. I only got like $3 or something, which was just kind of hilarious. I really thought they'd be good airdrops, so I am sorry, guys. But you know what? The interest is good. The products work. They never rugged anybody, so I can at least I can say that I never promoted anything that actually was a scam. And look, it's not a great option if you're not putting a lot of capital into it, 10%, 13%, whatever. But it does seem to actually at least work relatively well. Uh, Same with the vaults, right? Like the insurance vaults for the exchange. So we're gonna have an event in a couple days just to kind of unpack the results of the exchange and see if it's a viable, model. And I have to say, guys, so far the exchange has actually worked really, really well. So this is a really positive thing I can say is for the most part, again, most part, since the first week, we really haven't had a ton of bugs on the exchange. Obviously, there are a lot of bugs, like with margins and different trading features and whatever, but nothing game breaking, right? We're not seeing trades double close anymore, like Superdude pointed out. We're not seeing, broken trades with wrong P&L. Liquidation is actually liquidation. The take profits and the stop losses work. And this is really good because, again, what this symbolizes is the fact that the exchange is actually functioning, at least on a base level. And then we can kind of start to and then we can kind of start to scale it up into a larger product. I don't really know what we need to do that. I'll be 100% honest, guys. So I don't know if we need capital per se, because I am willing to put the capital that we need, at least in the early days. And I don't know, like, if we need to get regulated first or maybe go try advert. Like, I'm really not sure. But the good news is, and I'll just go to this page for a minute just so you guys can see what I mean. Um, can you guys see my thingy? Awesome. So when I read this, guys, um, this is actually really good. Like Jenna, this is really, really good. Like just on face value, right? If we This is the easiest way to track if the exchange is actually working. And the fact that we are paying out positive distributions en masse means that the model does seem to work pretty well. And this is good because again, the goal is not to just trade off squirrels, right? We want to have a larger community and be taking, trades from all sorts of people. So the fact that we know at least early on that this does seem to be working is a really, really good, promising thing to start off with, right? And this really is a promising thing. So we're gonna go through the results, in more detail, on the 7th, so in like 3 or 4 days. But just to give you guys a heads up, I actually am really, really confident that we will be able to keep running the sqrl.trade platform, and then we can hopefully focus on trying to grow it. Because again, it does actually seem to be working. And we have been putting through a little bit of volume on this, right? We've got 20, 10K, 17K, 20K, 55K. We're not really doing nothing. So again, this data to me does show that there is a lot of opportunity with this kind of idea. It's just going to be, how do we scale it up? How do we grow it, et cetera, et cetera. The good news is that I guess being friendly with a lot of the other crypto projects and crypto influencers means that we have those connections and we absolutely can try to use them. It's just going to come down to what's the best way to do it. But looking at how everything is progressing so far, I do think the platform idea is a good idea, and I do think that we can actually keep pursuing it, which is awesome. Because I spent a lot of time making it. So if we had to just scrap it, I'd be quite unhappy. So yeah, I'm definitely glad that we're not scrapping it. But when I do look at the data overall, I do want to get some more testers on it just so we can have a larger pool of data. I don't know how we'll do it yet, but we'll find a way to kind of scale it up gradually with some more testers. And then yeah, we'll just keep seeing how the numbers go. I will keep adding the capital that we need to the platform, just to make sure that everything keeps running smoothly, and we can scale it up. But so far, guys, yeah, I mean, I'm overall ecstatic with how the exchange has been running. I think the battle feature people seem to really enjoy. Overall, I think the feedback has been largely positive. I mean, there's definitely some issues with the UI that we talked about. I know Rumbum pointed out a few issues as well with kind of like the zoom optimizations. Korean sent me some issues with the margin problems. Um, so yeah, I am going to work on that. But I do just have to figure out why, like, what is the cause? Eh, I was gonna say that Rumbum, I did record this, but you can't watch it because there's no sound. So yeah, I wouldn't bother. Made that mistake twice in a row now. Last time with the exchange. So this time I'm gonna hope I don't make that mistake. Um, yeah, I know. I believe me, I know. Um, it's just yeah, like yeah, it's just tough. Um, I'm gonna post a link though to something. Do, 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 do. Eh, honestly, I guess there really isn't that much need. No, you're fine, bro. It's my fault for not recording it at all. Clearly. Oh, good to see you, Fiend. Boss shipwright. Hope you're doing well, bro. I know you've been grinding. We're just wrapping up for the most part, but basically the exchange that we've been testing slash building seems to be working relatively well, which is good because we obviously want it to, and that's the main thing. No, you're so fine, bro. We've just been looking at the market, honestly. Like we've just been charting out different coins, all that kind of stuff, and then looking at the exchange. For the most part, the market looks bad and the exchange looks good. So we can do a super simple summary on most of these things. When you look at this chart, right, this to me does not look super strong. It makes me a bit nervous. I don't love these equal lows, and especially on coins like Sol, right? Like, why are we all the way back at these lows? Right. That to me makes me a bit nervous. So these coins, in my opinion, don't look that great. But not much you can do about that. The good news is the actual platform seems to be working quite well. Leaderboard, live battles, trade battles, all this stuff does seem to work, which is exactly what we need. And our insurance vaults have actually returned quite a good result so far, between whatever APY this is. But that's fantastic, right? This is what we want to see. Um, and again, keep in mind, our main goal with this is just to give that kind of profit over time. So when I look at these numbers, I'm overall pretty happy. This graph is kind of slightly useless, if I'm being honest, just because of the fact it's not showing total APY. But what you'll notice is, again, for the most part, these distributions are positive. The positive ones clearly outweigh the negative ones on average. And again, for the most part, this model does seem to work really, really well. And what's good is that this is 100% scalable, right? Because anybody can come into the exchange, provide their liquidity into this vault, and then we can distribute out the results of the exchange. Thanks, Fiend. I really appreciate that, man. So I'm happy about this because what this means is that we can, if we have $100,000 in the vault, for instance, we could accept as much trading as we wanted, right? We're pretty much in a position now where because the vault does appear to work, we can allow people to trade whatever they want as long as there's enough funds in the vault. So we were very, very close to being a really fully functional exchange. Again, lots of bugs and lots of smaller stuff to kind of clean up. But again, I do think the model will work where people can put funds in the exchange to fund it and then earn a part of that as revenue. So that's really, really big. It's probably the first exchange to ever take this kind of model. I'm sure there's a reason why, but I think it's super, super good for us because we honestly, we just got to find people to use it. That's really it. No problem, Jotram. Thanks for coming, bro. Really, really appreciate it as always, and have a great holiday. Um, but yeah, I mean, Fiend, Exchange works, Insurance Vault works. We can scale it. All we got to do really is just keep hopefully finding some new people to test it with, and then that's pretty much it. So if they like it, fantastic. If they don't, then that's okay. But getting as much feedback and users as possible is definitely the best way to kind of get that going. And we did create a referral program as well, so you can refer people. Oh, I got $5. You can refer people through your referral links, right? And all of you have your own referral link. And if they join the exchange, you will get a percent of their volume for life. So definitely make sure to check that out if you haven't already. If you know people who maybe would be interested in helping to test this with us, definitely, use your link, bring them our way. Um, that's definitely something I want to do is get some more guys to kind of help use the platform. Because again, there's no way to truly, truly test it unless we keep stressing it and kind of adding more and more elements to it. So again, going to be working on the bugs this week with the design and the margin and all the kind of stuff that we talked about before. But we'll leave these position capital limits in place. Um, that way people can't just open whatever size position they want, right? So if you try to open that, you just won't be allowed. And that's okay. We want that for now, right? We can kind of move these limits off, as we grow the platform and as we get bigger. And I think that's going to be a really, really bullish long-term thing for Squirrel. Um, I don't know how many people are necessarily on the platform at this point, but yeah, I mean, end of the day, um, yeah, that's fine. What else is there? It's kind of the bulk of it, guys. I mean, we talked about the market, how it looks like shit. That was kind of our main conclusion, looking at all these different coins. Because again, why are these things at lows when BTC is at highs? That's kind of the main argument for why the market looks bad. And then again, we talked about the exchange. The exchange is doing good. There isn't too much left else to talk about. So yeah, aside from the fact that, you know, we haven't been the best on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So if you do see an opportunity to kind of, post some squirrel stuff out there, just do it. I try. I'm not great at Twitter. And the reason why I say that we should try is because when I go to top tier, or some of these other servers, they are so, so good at getting more and more new people, with different kinds of, you know, campaigns and promotions and all this kind of stuff. They seem to be super, super effective at this. So for me, Um, I think it's something good to explore. I really, really do. Yeah. Are there any last minute coins you guys want me to check out? I did discuss Pengu. I think it looks good. Pengu does look pretty good. I'd buy it around here if it gets here. But yeah, this looks good. Good structure, strong coin. That's kind of the pullback I'd want to get is just into that line. But I don't even know if we get it. But overall, I think it does look good. It probably does go higher. Yeah, yeah, Pengu looks good. Oh, I guess I didn't. I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing my screen on that one. Um, just this X over here is where I'd kind of want to buy this 1.125 region. But this chart looks good. It really does. A lot of vertical accumulation here. Really no pullbacks. Not selling off the rest of the market. Still good structure. Yeah, yeah. Rave said it best. Really, the only coin that I actually like. It does look really, really good. So yeah, I would keep my eye on that one. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap this one up. Um, I am super, super tired. And unfortunately, I have a ton of work to do still. Um, I'm going to, yeah, I think we'll wrap the stream up. Appreciate you guys coming out. I'm so sorry I didn't record it. Um, that was a lot more detailed than this last little bit here. Fiend, thanks for coming, bro. Again, I'm sorry you missed most of it. But I'm just gonna give you the holder role now. I know it's your girlfriend's and whatever. I just gave you the role, by the way, so you should be able to see everything in the holders chat and all that kind of stuff. I know you hold one, and just like with your girlfriend or whatever. I don't care. So you have the roles now. Should be good to see everything. And yeah, yeah, bro. Listen, we can build. We really can. I think we can do a lot of great things. So if you ever think of any projects who might want to bring on an exchange or what we're doing over here, you can always reach out to me, and we'll figure out something to make it happen. But yeah, guys, thank you all for coming so much. And I will catch you guys in 3 days on Monday for our exchange recap.